because if you don't take this out from time to time and clean it up and inspect it to make sure everything's spinning freely, you can run into some issues. So here's an example. As you can see, this one looks pretty funky. Just another good thing to just inspect this, make sure nothing's cut into. Typically what happens is, hi, this is American Sanders Kevin coming to you from our training center here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Today we're going to be going over the Legend 8-inch belt sander, most specifically the top roller assembly. So we're going to take this top roller assembly out and I'm going to show you how to care for it. Okay, so when we start out with going to address our top roller assembly, first thing we want to do is make sure our machine is unplugged and not connected to power. Next thing we want to do is we want to make sure there's no paper on the machine. If there is paper, you want to take that off now. Then we're going to want to open up our side door here, our belt door cover, okay? And we're just going to want to drop the tension off the belts, just like so, all right? Now you could leave the belts on, you just want that play right there so that you can have access to the 3 bolts that hold the top roller assembly into place. Our next step is using the Allen key, the 3/32 Allen key that's provided with the toolkit on your Legend. We're going to take this lever out after we put it in the down position. So we're going to use this to take this little set screw out, just like so. Now I don't pull the set screw all the way out, I just loosen it enough to take the lever out. We're going to put that to the side, and then I actually screw this back in so we don't lose that little set screw. I'm going to put this Allen key right back in its designated spot here. And then I'm going to come and I'm going to take our 7/32 Allen key and I'm going to use that to loosen up these 3 bolts. Now these 3 bolts are the bolts, like I said before, that hold the whole top roller assembly in place on the machine. So we're just going to take these out just like so. Now if you see this middle bolt here that I'm loosening up now, it's got a wire connector on it. We just want to be cautious of that when we're taking the screw out. And it could just stay like that. It's not going to get in the way. And then we got our 3rd bolt here. There. Now that all 3 bolts are out of the machine, we can come over here and just slide the whole top roller assembly right out of the machine. Now we're going to take this and put it on the bench and get a closer look. So now that we have our top roller assembly out of the machine and on our bench, first thing we want to take note of is to see if there's any kind of dust buildup anywhere in the assembly. So as you can see, we have this big cutout here, and I'll actually open this up so you could see. This was one of the big improvements that we did compared to the early model floor crafters, is we made this cutout in this assembly so that dust buildup isn't as big of an issue as it previously was. So dust kind of just falls down through here and gets sucked into the dust bag on the machine. In terms of everything else, you want to make sure that there's not much dust buildup in here around your roller assembly. You want to lift it up and spin the bearings, or spin the top roller and listen to the bearings. If you hear any kind of noise, that's a pretty good indicator that you should look to get your top roller bearings swapped out. Also, you want to take this time to inspect your guide rollers, both here, and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to spin them, make sure they spin freely, just like they were, and make sure there's no hang-ups. If they make any noise or anything like that, you should swap out your guide rollers as well. Another telltale sign that something's wrong is sometimes you'll see when a bearing in your guide roller does seize up, you'll actually see the paper, because the guide roller won't spin and it just sits in one spot, the paper will actually cut into the metal and you'll have like a shelf there, and you don't want that either, because that's going to damage your paper and it's going to affect how your machine runs. So those are 2 other things to look out for. Lastly, you want to inspect your boot here, your rubber boot. So most importantly, you just want to feel it and make sure it feels soft. You want to make sure there's no dry rot or anything like that. It is rubber, so over time, as it's exposed to hot and cold, you know, just like a car tire, it's going to wear out eventually. And the zip tie here, you want to make sure that's on there good and tight. Make sure it's on this base assembly so that no dust can get into this mechanism here, okay? So that's all good. This is in pretty good condition. There's not much dust on here. We're going to go ahead and just vacuum this out anyway real quick before we put it back in the machine to make sure it's perfectly clean and looks good and feels good going back in the machine. So now that we got this all vacuumed off and clean, there's one other thing I wanted to talk about, and that's your actual top roller itself. So now that it's clean, you just want to slightly just spin it and roll your hand over it, just like this. And you're just feeling for any kind of imperfections in it. In today's world of sanding, we have a lot of these newer ceramic abrasives that we use, and they're designed to microfracture and keep the paper sharp so it lasts super long, which is a great tool for flooring contractors. There is, not that I would call it a downside, but there's something that you almost have to just be aware of and pay attention to, and that's your rubber components. So you want to do this with your top roller and also your drum. Those little microfractured grits that fall off that you'll sometimes see on the floor itself will actually sometimes get embedded in your top roller, and that could potentially leave lines in the floor. It could damage the backing on the paper of the paper that you're running on the machine and potentially leave a line in the floor. Now what I will say is some of the newer ceramic belts that have come out for these belt sanders have a super heavy duty backing on them, and it's less likely to happen on higher end papers. But if you're using a lower quality paper, it is definitely something that you want to look out for. Another thing that I just want to touch on is this linkage right here. So if you see this linkage, it's just another good thing to just inspect this, make sure nothing's cut into. Typically what happens is sometimes you'll see these where it looks like the paper kind of cut this bolt. That happens because somebody will put a new piece of paper on the machine and they won't put the tension on the paper. And as you can see, when the top roller is in the up position, meaning that the paper would be tight, that bolt is hidden behind the top roller and the paper wouldn't be able to touch it. Okay, the guide roller would come into play. But what happens is if they don't put the tension on the paper and they leave the top roller assembly in the down position, that's exposed. So if you do see a cut in here, chances are a guy was just kind of going through the motion, just kind of hurry through the process, and they didn't put this down right away and it cut into there. Most of the time it's not an issue, but it's just something you want to look out for. Now, part of the reason why we do top roller maintenance is because if you don't take this out from time to time and clean it up and inspect it to make sure everything's spinning freely, you can run into some issues. And I have a couple examples here. So here's an example, somebody who used their machine on a floor that obviously had a lot of adhesive on it. And as you can see, the bearings definitely seized up, and they caught something in here which left a groove in their top roller. And you could see all the adhesive built up on the top roller itself. Okay, so that's obviously going to affect how your machine works, and it's also going to affect what type of footprint the machine leaves on the floor. So that's just one reason that we want to inspect our top roller assembly from time to time. And here's another example. So as you can see, this one looks pretty funky. And what actually happened was this person didn't take their assembly out ever, and their bearings seized up, and eventually that's what happened, if you could kind of see in there. And the top roller itself stopped spinning, and you can see this is all the melted rubber here from the paper just running over the top of this and melting the rubber down. So this is why you want to do your top roller maintenance. This is why you want to pull this assembly out every so often. Make sure it's clean, make sure everything's spinning properly, make sure everything's working properly, because if not, you can run into way bigger issues that's ultimately going to cost you more money in the long run. Okay, so now we're going to put our top roller assembly back into our machine. First thing we want to do is we want to make sure that that top roller is in the down position. So just use our lever, put it in down position. We're just going to slide this in the machine, just like so. Then we're going to get our bolts. I like to start with the top one and just screw it back in. Now I don't screw it all the way in because you want to have play so you could line up the other two holes. So make sure we get this wire clamp in there. Good, we got that in. And our third one should line right up and go right in. We're going to take our Allen key again, and now we're just going to tighten everything up. After you get them finger tight, you just want to go back and torque them down. You don't want to torque them down so much that, you know, you strip them out or you make it impossible for it to come out again in the future. You just want to make sure it's in there tight so that it doesn't move around and vibrate on you. Now that we got those three back in, we're going to put our Allen key back in its holder, and we're going to bring back our 3/32. We're going to loosen up that set screw. Now, when we put this lever back in, there's actually a little notch cut out on here, and that's going to go towards the set screw. That's right where the set screw sits. So our little notch is right here, facing the set screw. Put it in, and tighten that down. Put our Allen key back. Put tension back on our belts, close our door. Now we're ready to sand. Thanks for stopping by. If you like this video and want to see more like it, please leave a comment below letting us know what type of content you'd like to see in the future. Also, don't forget to smash that subscribe button. Again, this is American Sanders Kevin, helping you get the advantage. If you'd like to see more future comments, and would like to see more,